In the meantime, Texas Governor Greg Abbott issuing an order on Tuesday that will prevent local governments in the state and public schools from having mask mandates. He issued a statement saying this: Texans, not government, should decide their best health practices, which is why masks will not be mandated by public school districts or government entities. We can continue to mitigate COVID-19 while defending Texans' liberty to choose whether or not they mask up. End quote. Joining us to discuss is Texas Congressman Van Taylor. Congressman, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be with you guys.
Good to see you. All right, let's start off with your thoughts. That statement from the governor there, not going to require masks in public schools or local government entities. Is that the right move?
Look, based on the science and the medicine, it is absolutely correct. I mean, you look at our hospitalization numbers, the lowest in 13 months, new infections lowest in 13 months. We actually had no deaths on Sunday. We're not completely out of the woods yet, but absolutely, we've had a phenomenal effort by Texans to get vaccinated, and that is really a statewide effort, and it's yielded some great results. And I want to give plaudits to Governor Abbott. Back in December, he took the controversial perspective of saying, I'm going to vaccinate elderly people. I'm going to do a nursing home initiative. He went to his local fire departments and asked them to vaccinate nursing homes around the state and senior living facilities around the state. And that actually made a huge difference, and I think is the reason that Texas was so successful. He was criticized at the time. It was a controversial decision, but I think that the facts have played out that Texas is better off for having made that decision.
Well, that wasn't the only time the governor was criticized. In fact, the president of the United States had some choice words to say about his decision to lift the mask mandate when that first happened. Take a look at this.
The last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters.
Okay, and that was in early March there, the president calling the decision to lift the mask mandate Neanderthal thinking. Do you think he might have a different view on that statement now, considering the data that you've just shared with us, that low death count?
Sure. The facts did not, the president was making a bet about science, and the president's estimation was incorrect. Governor Abbott's estimation was correct. Governor Abbott made the correct decision yet again, and he made that declaration on March 2nd, which is actually Texas Independence Day, and it went into effect on March 10th. And so that was certainly when you look at the numbers, when you look at the science, Governor Abbott made the right decision.
Okay. I want to switch gears and talk to you about another issue that's coming forward in regards to our military men and women and sort of the operations that could be looking into their social media platforms. We're learning that the Pentagon is going to be taking a closer look at social media for extremist behavior and views. Do you think that that should be a priority? Could that be an invasion of privacy?
I served in the Marine Corps, led a platoon in Iraq, and I certainly am very troubled by this. I think that the United States of America, we bring people in the military who are willing to give their lives, willing to sacrifice for our freedom. And I honestly can never remember anybody interrogating me about my ideology. And I think that's something that, that's something you saw in the Soviet military, where they had a political commissar who was there to make sure everybody was faithful to the party. And we don't do that in the United States military. There's an assumption of patriotism, of fidelity. And I'm really disturbed by this idea that we're going to start, policing the social media of our military. It's not consistent with our values and beliefs and ethics as a country.
And this comes during a time of appreciation for our military men and women during Military Appreciation Month. As you said, you're chair of the Congressional For Country Caucus with Operation Gratitude to impact troops as well. Tell us about your most recent event, sending these packages to military men and women, and sort of what difference it can make in their service.
Sure. Well, the For Country Caucus is 25 veterans, half Republican, half Democrat. All political stripes from all over the country, all services. And we come together every other week to talk about issues that are important to us, that have a common bond of working on service and our military and national security. We came together yesterday. There were 15 of us, Republican and Democrat, and we boxed up some care packages for our troops overseas. And it was interesting listening to all of us talking about how when we were downrange, we got care packages from people that we had not met, and how much it meant to us that people back home cared. That they took the time to, take some coffee and some sunblock and some snacks, put them in a box and write a nice note and mail that off to us. Operation Gratitude has provided literally millions of care packages to our troops over the years to show our troops physically we care about your service, and we're grateful for what you're doing overseas.
Yeah. Hey, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you for your efforts on that. Whenever you hear that there's a bipartisan effort going forward, I always like to pay attention to it because you know that there's some good stuff being done there. That's Congressman Van Taylor joining us here on National Report. Congressman, thank you.
Great to be with you.